I received a request to go over a problem from 8.5, and this is the problem number one, at least for this particular student, that I was asked to go over. So let's go through this, and I'm going through the example that's available to you by clicking on Show Me an Example for this problem. So let's begin, and this is the problem right here. And let me get an ink thing that I can use. And where is there we go. Here's our problem. And there's enough information here that is very typical of a real life example. The price of a home is $280,000. The bank requires 20% down, typical conventional loan, and 3 points at the time of closing, typical. The cost of the home is financed with a 30-year fixed rate mortgage at 6.5%. This could be a long video, so get your popcorn out and see how this goes. Okay, here's part A right here. Find the required down payment. This one turns out to be fairly easy because and let me change ink here. All you're required to do is take the sale price multiplied what you need for the down payment. And the sales price is right here. And 20% is for down payment. The big thing you have to do here is to turn, and here's the 20%. This is now needs to be switched to a decimal because you can't do anything when multiplying if you have it in percentage format. So you must turn it into a decimal. Okay. I'm not going to show you that one on the calculator. I'm saving it for the very end here, which is really ugly. It's one of the uglier entries in a calculator I can think of. But anyway, let's move on. Find the amount of the mortgage. Okay. Well, the amount of the mortgage is going to be taking the original $280,000, and here's our down payment. Well, you don't need to put that into the mortgage, so you subtract it, and this is how much you're actually going to finance. All right. Here's where they explain a point. And this is where you get dinged right when you're coming out of the gate of getting your loan, is a 1% is you need to provide that on this $224,000. And if you buy a house, if and when you buy a house, this is an unavoidable thing. I bought a house this year. It was unavoidable. They hit me with points. So let's go back here, and how many points are they talking about? Well, if you remember, there's 3 points here. If you don't remember, there it is, 3 points. And they say it right here also, which means it's 3% of the mortgage amount. Well, we just calculated the mortgage amount right here, $224,000. Okay, so we've got the $224,000. Notice this 3 points right here. That's the same as 3% right here. But as I said in part B of this problem, you cannot in any shape or form use percent when you do the multiply. You must convert it to a decimal, and that's what they did here. So 0.03 times the 224,000 is 6720. All right, now comes the ugly part, and hopefully I will get this entered into the calculator correctly. because this is really a bear to put in here. So let's look at some of how we're going to enter this stuff. I mean, you have to fill in all of these. And this N right here, and let me get another ink, and let's go with this one. There's a bunch of N's here, and they all get the same value when you fill it into the calculator. Now, N is defined as, and this should be, if you're looking in the online book or in the book, when you figure out, or when you get to the formula over here, N means how many times of payments per year are you making. Well, for a house, you make monthly payments, so N is 12. Okay. Now we go back up to here, up to the top, and 6.5% is our interest rate. Well, that's what they're talking about right here, 6.5%. If you take 6.5%, and this is brutal writing with this. This is not easy. This is doing this with the mouse. And convert that to a decimal, that's what you get. Okay. This is a 30-year loan. So T is going to be equal to 30. All right, here we go. Now we're ready to get some stuff here. We still need one more thing. Here's our loan amount. So if you go back up here, we got that from this step right there. Alright, I think we've got everything and we're ready to load this. And here they nicely tell us what this information is. They fill it in, they take it and take this formula right here, and they fill it in and come up with this mess right here. Okay, so I need to fill this in, and this is where the pressure hits, and I get to see how good I am at this type of thing, and we'll see. Let's see how much time I have running here. If I need to break this into two of them or not. 493, so we're at about 9 minutes. We'll see how we do here. Okay, here we go. And I turn it on. I turn it on. Come on. Now let's just turn it on. There we go. That's on. Here we go. Let's fill this in. The numerator is always going to need to be in parentheses in these complicated problems like this. So I'm going to put in the 224,000, 0, 0, 0, and I'm going to need another parentheses to put in the 0.065 divided by 12, and then I need a parentheses, and then I need another parentheses which goes with this one right here. These two go with each other. This one and this one go with each other. Okay, now I need the denominator, and I need to divide, and I'm once again going to put everything down here in parentheses, which is always a good practice with a calculator. 1 minus, and we put parentheses, 1 plus, or pluses, and 0.065 divided by 12. parentheses. Okay, now comes a tricky part. That right there. And this is a spot where you can catch some big hit time errors. This means I'm raising to a power. And I can write this, this actually has to go into parentheses also. This is the negative 12. This is a negative. This is a minus. You use this for a negative number. If I did 5 minus 4, I would use this one. But I'm not. This is negative 12. Negative 12. And I multiply it times 30. And I'm just going to use this. Multiply times 30. Parentheses. And this is, got a parentheses, 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 parentheses. And I've got one right here. Now just to show you how cocky I am, let's say I screwed up. And this is a really long, ugly, nasty thing to type in here. Let's say I put in 20 there instead of 30, and I didn't know I made the mistake, and I hit enter. 1670. Whoa, I screwed up. But I realized, oh no, I didn't put 30 here. And you think to yourself, oh, well, I've got to retype that whole thing in. I think I'm going to go to the refrigerator and have something to eat. And then maybe when I feel better, I'll come back. Food therapy. So, in any case, there is a fix for this. The second, enter, and there, lo and behold, there it is. It's back. And I just scroll over here, and I change this to a 30. And I hit enter. 1415.83, aka 1416. Now, if you're not used to seeing these videos like this, you can rewatch this. And I'm about to do part E and part F, but for the moment I have to stop this video because YouTube only lets me have 15 minutes. And I will continue with part 2 of this, and I'll post it at the same time I put part 1, but I have to stop right now.